Okay, YouTube, I am back. I am about to finish where I left off on part two. My dog got kind of rowdy. Everyone understands you all have animals, kids. But I do want to get this out. I want to finish this entire story, finish sharing my testimony, finish sharing what happened to me, how God saved me, how He healed me, how He brought me out, how I'm here today in my right and sound mind. So as I left off talking about not being able to go back to school, not being able to just be regular because I was being picked on, I was being talked about, and how things went. I only have my sister, that's my family, I only have one sister on this earth, and I would be with her, and so I would be exposed to a lot of things. Like I said, I was still in church. We would still go to church on Wednesdays for Bible study, Fridays for praise night, Monday night prayer, Sunday night church, and I'm talking about long hours, okay? But like I said, when you're exposed to certain things at such a young age, you only know what you're taught. And I don't understand why people don't understand that even when it comes to religions. You only know what you're taught. So when people grow up believing a certain thing or doing a certain thing or acting a certain way, you know what you're taught. Even sometimes you're not even living your own life. I've been in that position where I found that a lot of my ways were from my mother or from this person. I'm like, this is not even me, right? So with that being said, as I would be with her, things would happen. And after that surgery, I was like shocked. So I had to see a psychiatrist, The psychiatrist kind of explained some things to my parent, like this girl has post-traumatic stress disorder. She has dissociative identity disorder, which I recently, only a year or so ago, found out the real depth of that thing. And after I really found out the depth, like when God revealed it, I've studied on it, I've read on it. When God revealed it, basically, I definitely had it. Like, I was detached from life. I was alive, but I wasn't. Because if you're not spiritually woke, you're not alive. And so what ended up happening to me after that, it took a while for me to heal. I would have nightmares, different people, like friend girls would spend the night with me and say, look, I can't stay. You're kicking me, you're fighting, you're screaming. And it didn't stop. So what ended up happening, traveling with, my sibling, other men started approaching me and messing with me. And I didn't know how to say no. I was young, but I didn't know how to say no. I was scary. I have always, even now, like, I'm not scary anymore because I know I have the armor of God. I know who I am. But I was always scared. Like I said, it was that spirit of fear. And who would have thought that, messing with a person out of town while with my sibling would lead to so much, because I thought abuse was over in my life. And then it happened with one of my cousins. And then it happened with my sister's boyfriend. And it's like, as these things happened to me, I never opened my mouth. I never spoke up. I always had this voice in my head that would tell me, you are the problem. This is supposed to happen to you. You deserve this. Like, as a young person, these are the things that would go through my head. Only to find out later on when I got older, these were spirits. We have to protect our children. These were spirits. A baby came from the situation, and the family knew. We talk about family secrets. We talk about that chosen one, that one that God pulls out to be different, the one that God hides. But the one that is, they don't even know that they're that one. But they're going through what I'm telling you right now. My own family, my own family's spouse. And it didn't just stop. He continued. And I would never fight for myself. So it would happen again with another cousin. These were brothers. You see what I'm saying? The child didn't live, thank God. But everybody knew, but they basically made me the problem. They basically, as a child, I was 13, 14. You're the problem. You deserve it. You asked for this. I spent so many years even after that, like, hating myself, like punishing myself. Not understanding that an adult is supposed to be able to make decisions not to do these type of things. It's not for me to decide that for an adult, especially when everybody know. The thing that really it just puzzled me, because as I was in church growing up, they would always take me to the altar, but nothing helped at the altar. The oil didn't help, the prayers didn't help. You know, they would prophesy. A lot of it came true. You're going to end up on drugs. You're going to end up pregnant. All of that happened. But there were parts of that God said, no, she hadn't even had a chance to meet me yet. I hadn't had a chance to meet God. I had met so much trauma and chaos, hurt and pain. Am I on here trying to make people to look like suspects? No. But there are spirits in people. That's why we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. It's the spirits that get in people's mind. It's the spirits that get in people's heart that make them lust after young women, after children. I was a child. I'm not making excuses. I had to get older. I had to heal to understand. I come from a long line of this. Incest ran in my family. Something I'll share later on in one of the videos. It ran in my family. It didn't start with me. A lot of things didn't start with you. It didn't start with you. But it's one of you in that line that is going to come to and you're going to say, no more. You're going to say, it's something else. It's another reason why this happened. Because, see, I was taught to not to like the Lord. He was my enemy, let them tell it. He going to do all this to you because you won't do this. And I ain't even met him. I haven't even encountered him. But you beating me with the word while I'm getting beat at home sexually. But I have to share this because he is somebody out there. Either it's happening to you or it has happened and you holding it. Let it go. You're not responsible for what they did to you. I say this in every video. You're responsible for how you heal from it, how you respond to it, and what you do with what was done to you. After the loss of that child and those two occurrences I just spoke about, my entire life changed for the worse. I became somebody I didn't even recognize. I didn't want to be at home. You couldn't keep me in the house. I don't care if it was bolted. My mom had the bolted. It had no knobs, just locks. I'm getting out of here. I had voices. I had so many spirits working on me, telling me to go. Run the streets, get away. They don't love you here. This is what's happening to you here. Imagine that at 13. So I left. Yes, the Bible says train up a child in the way they should go. They will not depart. See, even if they do depart, they will come back, right? I'm back, but I departed. I experienced so many things. I tried so many things. School wasn't an option for me. After that, I couldn't go back. I left. 8th grade year, I decided not to even show up to keep the attendance going. It's time to hit the road. If I need to go this way, I can go with my sister. If I need to go that way, I can go on my own. But, you know, I was on the road the enemy wanted for me. Because there's no way I was operating out of the spirit of fear, right? I'm fearful of everything, but I'm willing to go and do all of this at the young age of 13, and it breaks my heart now. Not so much as it used to, but I'm not going to say it breaks my heart now. Let me stand corrected. It touches me in a way, but it used to break my heart when I would see a 12 or 13 or 14-year-old and just visualize young me just gone somewhere out there, you know. Don't want to be at home because I feel like the streets love me more than my family. But people say that, right? With no evidence. I had full evidence. They didn't want me. Everything that was happening to me was my fault. I made them men mess with me. I wanted what happened to me because I didn't open my mouth until it got so bad that I had to go to the hospital. I don't understand it. I don't understand why I never fit in here. Why when I was in school, I used to be like, what is this? What is that? Like a cheerleader, a drill team, or whatever. It's because I came here in it. I was born into the mess, the chaos, the curses. But for me, it would always be abuse. Where it come from, I don't know. Some things God has revealed. He reveals things over time. You pray to him, you talk to him, you spend time with him. He may give you a vision, a dream of it. He has revealed to me. But I went through so much, you all. Like, I am so glad to be cleansed from that. But after those two things happened to me, it just really made me not care. I started just not caring, just living my life however. My father passed during all of this, you know. His last words to me weren't good. He wasn't present. He was part of the reason why everything was like it was. Like I said, he unalived me in my mom's womb. The Lord brought me back. He walked out. I'm not pointing at him. My mom wasn't perfect, right? But the abuse, it wasn't normal, you know. It wasn't normal for family to do that to me. It wasn't normal for it to be people that close, like, to just be comfortable to come to where I'm sleeping at night. I really wanted to break this up, but I didn't want to start getting it going. Because the Lord told me, you know, the other day, it don't have to be perfect, just get it done. But I have a lot to think about, and in part 4, I'm gonna share in depth of how my life went for the worst. The different experiences I had, things that if you look at me right now, you wouldn't believe happened. But they did. There is a God. He is almighty, all-powerful. There is nothing he cannot do. When he do it, it may seem like, was that real? Because it's just like that, right? But he saved me so many times. Like, not even from all that sexual abuse, but things that happened after that I'll share in the next video. Boy, the enemy sent his hardest hitters at me, but God got a plan for my life. God has a plan for my life, and I'm gonna walk that entire plan out. Nothing's gonna stop me. And I'm gonna leave you with this, because this is something I've always said. And I'm gonna leave this with someone. It may help you. If the enemy couldn't take you out when you was out there, he can't take you out now that you're in here with God. Now that you're in his kingdom, now that you're part of his body, he can't take you out. So be blessed and stay tuned for part 3. Thank you for watching.